change your camera. My other one has died. The battery doesn't want to play. So apologies for the epic crackness that you're about to see in the camera work. Anyway, moving on. Project worked. This is an axle. As you can see, it's looking good. Probably saw that in the last video. I can't remember where we got to. I'm about to move on now. About to put the hubs and the stub axles on the shafts, but slight deviation. As you saw in the last video, I've got some special stuff happening. Namely, design and development engineering. They've come up with this great idea, to me anyway, of a disc brake conversion kit. There's various ones on the market, so I did have a look at them. Wild Engineering, Forbyn Brothers, Hystee Engineering, to name a few. Apologies if I've forgotten your name for the other one. Anyway, moving on. All of them use various differing combinations between using genuine Land Rover parts, either to be using Land Rover discs, hubs, or different swivel housings, as in the case of the Hystee one, which I looked at, but that was well over £1,000 just for the front. And I'll be honest, you do any research on the internet and look at Land Rover series drum brakes, 10-inch ones, and you'll find there's a whole myriad of people who got problems with, how can I set up my drums? My drums ain't square. The spring retaining pad has fallen out of the shoe. The shoes ain't square. A lot of the times you buy a new set of shoes, you've got to spend half an hour to an hour aside chamfering them up and make sure they work and fit. And to me, been there, done that, got a t-shirt for it. So, moving on, I decided I was going to go disc brake conversion. Again, looking around, and I thought, well, as I'm doing a full rebuild, I might as well go the whole hog and do it at the same time. So, what does it involve? Well, let's have a look then. First of all, you spend a few quid with design and development. What you got is a box. Shall we have an unboxing vid? Let's do an unboxing vid. We have a box. I've gone for front and back kits, so you get everything. You get nuts and bolts, screws, bracket to caliper bolts, washers. Same with the other one. You get a diagram. That's what you send to the engineering chap to lathe the hubs. To do this, you have got to machine the hubs. Take a standard Land Rover series hub with all these bits and pieces. See, it's got the ribs and everything because the drum usually bolts to the front face. This is where I've changed it. So I've sent my drum off to the machine shop. It's been back. And what you get is a hub with the machine face. He's taken all the bits off, and he's gone down to the specific measurement as laid down in the diagram. And he's also drilled the holes to match the disc. So you take a hub, and now disc fits to it. The kit doesn't come with any form of bolts to match this to the hub. You've got to supply those. We'll just say that. What I've done is taken the standard Land Rover bolt, focus on it, and what I've done, literally with a tap, you'll need just to add about quarter to half a thread extra onto the base of it, because where it screws in, it does just screw in slightly further than the normal shouldered bit that goes into a Defender hub or a Discovery hub. It's a coil sprung hub, and you've got to take a bit off the end because the flange on the hub, the available area where it's been drilled through and tapped to M10 is slightly less. This was usually a bit longer, like that bit longer. So either way, not too bad of a job so far. And then all these, got 5. They will then screw into there, screw into there. Screw into there. Hopefully. Just like that. Let's do some cheating. Just for assembly purposes, I will undo these and Loctite them all in properly in a second. Because Loctite solves everything. So there we go. Up a bit. Told you it was all a bit half fashion today. Anyway, disc on drum. Standard Land Rover disc. Part number. Part number. LRO 18026. That's 0, so it's LR 018026. Other brands are available. I just went Britpart. I've had no problems with their discs in the past. They've all been fine and dandy. Same disc on all 4 corners. Makes life easier. That is onto there. All done in there. Nice thing, and the bolt heads are only just there, so that's all good. Right. Moving on. With the kit comes some nice machine spacers. These then go on here like that. The idea of that is take up the diameter that you used by the original by the drum. Do you remember there was a drum on there when you had the original setup? That keeps the wheel in the same track. That's all that is there for. Depends on what wheel you can use. You have to remember with this kit, you're going to use. You can't use a standard Defender early or a series long wheelbase or short wheelbase rim. You have to use either a Discovery steel, a modular, or an 8-spoke, or the Wolf rim. I'm going Wolves, so the Wolves are fit. Jury's still out whether I'll keep the spacer or not, because the Wolf rim sticks the track out slightly anyway, so I might take the spacer off and put the Wolf rims on, and everything will balance itself out. Because I don't like wheels sticking outside the wheel arches on a series, especially with flares. It looks horrible. Anyway, so you get a spacer. Nicely machined. It is beautiful. You get a load of those. Then you get some beautifully machined bits of steel. Look at these. Oh, isn't she lovely? This is what you pay your money for. That takes a lot of time on a CNC machine to do that. This is a rear. So you get 2 rears. or if you just ordered the front kit, you get 2 fronts. Front kit is as such. There we go. That's the front. Beautifully made, really is. I do like the machining work on this. There's been a lot of time spent on that, even though it looks funny, it's all square. These are beautiful. Right, what else comes with the kit? If you order a front kit, comes with brake pads. Because of the way that that's mounted with the bracket that goes into the caliper, standard pads won't fit on the front. Standard pads on the rear. That's a set of rear pads you've got to order. SFP 500 190s. You also need to order an 8575 rear kit. Yep, sorry, and an 8573 rear kit and an 8575 front kit even. There we go. Getting confused here. You need to order those yourself. Instructions on the website say everything about it, so there's no problems there. Back to the pads, front pads. If you have front pads, what's got to happen is you've got to order, is that these come with the kit, because it's a standard backing plate, standard later Defender front pad backing plate, but the contact patch is less. They've been specially manufactured to match the area on the disc, because the caliper obviously sits a bit higher. Well, that's naturally with the disc that they use is a rear disc, not a front disc, which is a different diameter. Science, that's an over. Any other questions, ask Brian. He's a wonderful chap. I've asked him lots of questions. So anyway, and what they've done is they've put different friction material on. This is obviously a better sintered material. High friction, coats with the less contact area, still makes braking good. Long and the short of it is, either way, they're here. Moving on. So, this all bolts together somehow. I'm going to show you a trial build on the axle that's on the bench, and we can go from there. Right, dry build time. So here we go. Gasket goes onto the hub. So, quick. I'm old school. I believe in a quick smear of grease around contact faces, especially on like gaskets and stub axles and whatnot. With a special gasket paper, that should do the trick. So, there we go. Isn't she lovely? Cue incoming DMCA for wonderfully nod singing. Right, that's that one there. It goes that way. Notice back of the axle, the back of the vehicle is where the diff is. So we get stub axle on, bracket on. They are handed. I made a monumental goof. Both sides of the brackets, there's a notch. Notch goes at the top. Notch at the top. Your brake caliper won't fit. Told you. Take on board the other information I said. That is the correct location. Now I've put the right side, the right-handed bracket on the right side, which is the right of the vehicle. Right. Oh dear. Didn't say that in the instructions, did they? Well, I make mistakes so you don't. Cool. Right. Let's try again. Taut these bolts up. Let's do this again. Da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Socket. Done. F1 at this for now. Hub. That's better. This might go up further. Now for the sake of science, I'm putting it in dry. I'm going to strip and recheck everything anyway. Just for the sake of the video. There we go. And the usual thing. Spacer. Adjusting nut. Or inner lock nut as sometimes it's called. You know the drill. Lock tab, lock nut. We'll leave that for the moment. Anyway, I want to make sure we're all done. It's only a video for the sake of science. So, we are going to move you so you can see what's happening behind. So, caliper. I picked up the wrong one. So we got caliper, right way up, bleed nipple at the top, two big bolts going there, just going to do them up tight. Apologies for the quality of the caliper paint. But this is what happens. Tight. There we go. Anyway, that does up. Fast forward a few weeks. This has been a bit of a headache, but I've got there. Hopefully. Right. So what we got? You'll notice these hubs look nothing like the hubs I had before. I tried. You cannot use early series hubs with the thin studs and the double-ended nuts. Can't use late series 2A, big stud, big nuts, but still imperial. If you're going to do this conversion, I wholly recommend get the later hubs. Get the series 3 ones with the metric studs. It was Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Let's have a look. Recommend using new late Series 3 hubs, part number 576844. Kids, you have been warned. I tried, I failed. No Vende Vici Vidi today. Sorry, Romans. My success wasn't as good as yours. Moving on. Late Series 3 hubs. If I was having another set of hubs done, tell you what I did. I was concerned about the stud length. According to Brian, and I've had a big long conversations with him, he's been an absolute champion. With the spacers, and used normal, back into the light for a second, Series 3 metric studs. These come with the hubs. It will look like that. This is Series 3 late hubs, wolf rims on normal drums at the moment, as you can see. That's how much you get. It is about that within a thread or two. I'm a bit of a safety conscious person. After all, you're doing a modification like this, anybody who's going to inspect it, look at it, MOT testers want it to be safe. So I took the decision, whether I had to or not, and I put the FRC 7577s, whatever it is, part number below, wolf hubs, studs in there. That has helped. Now I've got loads of room when I put a drum on, no, a rim on. As you can see, I've been playing. Let me just show you. And as you can see, ta-da, with a wolf on, I've still only got that much stud length. Light, a light, my kingdom for a light. That much stud length. So still not brilliant, but as I said, my concern was not having enough real nut in the studs. You can get away with it. These were on my Defender when I had it first. Straight from the factory, straight from the showroom floor, and the end of the stud was just shy of the end of the nut, and all Amro did was up the torque setting to 150 newton meters instead of 100. So it can be done, but there we go. I thought whilst I'm having a brand new set of hubs done, I'm going to get the machine shop the second time round to machine a set of studs into it, which they pushed out, stuck the new ones in, everyone's happy. So anyhow, that's what clearance you get at the back. My recommendation, anybody doing this kit, you don't have to follow me, you can just use his. He used two of these. These are metric fine. M12 by 1.25. Try and find some of those on the internet. Or suggestions below. One of the first things that popped up on eBay was titanium bolts. So these are titanium, but it just means you can get a spanner in there to do them up nicely. Otherwise it's all good, they're all on there. It is going to be good having discs on a series. It means it will stop and everything is going to be happy. Query is with the kits as well, why the brake pads? Why do they have their own brake pads? Well, because of the contact area. The traditional ones, the meat comes a bit further up into the pad. Because of the way they've used the discs with these calipers, it means that won't work. So it's a higher friction, so it compensates for the lack of pad area in contact, which means it should be just as good. And again, going from what I've read on the Facebook posts as well, I've been following the kit quite closely, and so it means it still works. That's the front. The back is similar. Just put the pads away. There we go. So hub, longer studs, machined on with the disc. Yes, there's holes missing. Those are the ones for the bolts of the caliper. For the disc, hub to disc. I've literally, this is dry build. I'm making sure it all fits and it all works, which it does. As you can see, there's the bracket, which the caliper bolts to at some point. Next step, once I've done the rolling chassis on the series project, I'll run a set of brake lines up. I'll make the brake lines. So, long road ahead. long road ahead. Stay with me. Not the most exciting of posts, but hey, welcome to the thick end of trying to modify your series vehicle rather than just stick with standard drums, which sometimes work, but might, and then go out of balance, and you go for a puddle, and then it tries throwing you into the hedge or the road, or you Russian roulette it. Been there, done that. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. The next episode of my build project. Keep your eyes peeled. Click, subscribe, like, whatever. I don't really mind. I'm having fun. You can come join me. Catch you next time. Ta-da.